Welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Gary Thompson. He's the CEO of Brixton Metals. And Gary, it's good to see you. How are you?
Hi, Steve. Doing well, thanks.
Good to have you along. I know the company's had some news out, including today. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But maybe for those not familiar, tell me a little bit about Brixton.
Sure. Well, Brixton's an exploration company. We're based here in Vancouver. We've got four wholly owned assets, two of which are farmed out to very strong partners, and two that we're advancing. One being Langis, which you mentioned. We put out some news today. High-grade silver in Ontario, or Brownfields, a past-producing mine. And the other one is Thorn, which has been our flagship for the last, I don't know, 5 years or so, which is a large copper gold porphyry district in northwest British Columbia. So advancing those towards development, I guess that's the goal.
Yeah, let's talk about all that. But first, let's deal with Langus because you mentioned that there was some news out today, and it was significant news as well. Getting some results back and really strong results as well. Just talk about generally what you're seeing there and the excitement about today's results.
Yeah, well, today and this year, in fact, we've had this project for a while, but haven't really gave it the attention that I think it deserves. So this year we embarked on originally was a pretty significant about a 15,000 meter program, and we've been hitting some remarkable high grade intercepts this year, and today was no exception. And native silver, so it's a primary silver was a primary silver producer. Produced about 10.5 million ounces at quite high grade. And so we've been drilling in around the old workings, looking for material that they didn't exploit. And so yeah, we're pretty excited about that. I mean, some off the charts silver numbers like 11 meters of 45, nine 9,400 grams over 6.8 meters. We had one intercept that we released previously that was one of the highest grade silver intercepts globally, 82,300 grams per ton intercept within that 11-meter interval. So some pretty crazy high grade, and we're continuing to advance. And then we announced also today that we're bringing a second drill in to get to a 60,000 meter mark, which we hope will give us enough meat on the bones to put this into a maiden silver resource estimate.
So lots of work still to go there, and as you mentioned, exciting work so far, which is good. You also announced recently at Atlin the gold fields there. Now this is one of your partner ones that there's some drilling going on there as well.
Yeah, so two of our four projects are farmed out. One is called the Atlin Goldfields in Northwest BC. It's part of the famous Atlin gold mining, placer gold mining district. And so we struck a deal with Eldorado Gold, and they just are launching now. This would be their third season, which would be their first drilling campaign on the project. So we're excited to see what they can tackle there. It's high grade gold or orogenic gold style deposit. And then we have another project in northwest Montana, which is operated by Ivanhoe Electric, and they're also drilling. They're looking for the big causative copper gold porphyry system. So lots going on for Brixton. All projects are getting drilled, which would be all projects getting drilled at the same time, which is a first in the company's history.
Yeah. So let's talk about the big one, and that's Thorn, because you mentioned it's the flagship. So remind everyone a little bit about it. It's got a mix of minerals in the ground.
Yeah, well, it's a very large land position, one of the largest in British Columbia, 2,900 square kilometer block. It's 80 kilometers from tip to tip. And what we recognized over the last decade or more that we've been working on it, it is truly a copper gold porphyry district. So we've made now two legit porphyries, copper dominant porphyries with gold, silver, and moly in them. And we also have several large scale gold targets, and some are quite significant, like the Trapper gold target. We've been generating some very high grade gold hits on that. We have a very large 5 kilometer gold anomaly and a gold target called Outlaw. But what's interesting is that after all these years, we continue to find new areas of mineralization. We're pretty much every season identifying new areas of mineralization because it is such a large area, which it hasn't seen the attention perhaps that it deserves as well. So we've been at it for quite some time. I think we're about 70 million, just to give the audience a perspective. We're about $70 million into Thorn, and this year we'll be probably closer to 80 now after the end of this year. And then Langis, we're into Langis for about 10 million. So just to give you a sense of where we've been putting our resources. But I'd say that's a little bit changed this year. We're putting more emphasis on Langis silver, just because it's a super high grade silver, near surface, low cost drilling, great infrastructure. So a little easier perhaps to get to the finish line on that project, which is why the big push there this year
Yeah.
versus Thorn. Just a bigger project. It's going to take a bit more time to unlock the big potential there. But we made a brand new discovery last year called Catalyst, the new copper gold porphyry system, and only 8 kilometers from the main Camp Creek porphyry discovery. So we're
Wow.
still finding new stuff. So yeah, quite exciting.
Yeah, lots of stuff to come for sure. It's going to be a busy rest of 2026. You are trading on the TSXV, BBB, but also on the OTCQX, bbbxf. So important to have the American side of things as well as you develop the company here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, it's the biggest market in the world, and it's still an attractive place to you know, get investor interest and eyeballs. And we certainly have a number of U.S. shareholders on the register, and we continue to market in the U.S. And say we do have a project in Montana, and obviously with the big push for critical minerals these days, I think it's a good time to be in the mining space right now.
Absolutely. Gary, thanks so much. Really great update as always. It's good to see you again. Glad things are going well. It's super busy, and we look forward to following your story. Okay.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Steve.
All right. Good to see you again. Gary Thompson, the CEO of Brixton Metals.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors, or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.